Someone's messing with your signs.
Annoyed that neighbors keep stealing his chosen candidate's campaign signs, this homeowner is ready to defend his turf, paintball style.
Got the bait pile all filled up with bait, ready to go. Got the old gun ready to go. Come try and steal my again.
Lying in wait for hours, the homeowner watches over his lawn, paintballs primed and ready for action. When the sneaky sign bandits make their move, they get the message loud and clear to keep their hands to themselves. Apparently, not everyone in the neighborhood has heard about this homeowner's tenacity towards protecting his property. For another neighbor attempts to steal the signs the very next night.
What the
And he also receives a barrage of paintballs. So remember, when it comes to lawn signs, to paraphrase our 44th president, don't steal, vote.
I see him running.
Out of here.
Dallas, Georgia. It's 3 p.m. Samantha Lee and her neighbors are gathered, like they do every school day, at the neighborhood bus stop, waiting to pick up their young children.
It's a large bus stop. A lot of kids get off at this bus stop, and a lot of parents are there waiting for their kids.
But today, there's a substitute driver, a middle-aged woman who is not letting the children off the bus. Concerned, Samantha begins recording as her 9-year-old daughter Chloe and her 5-year-old son Carter are inside.
She's not letting us off!
It was like, why was she not letting the kids off the bus?
What the hell is she doing? Who is she talking to?
The driver looks agitated as she shouts into the bus's radio, and it worries the parents.
I'm feeling very confused and scared, to be honest with you.
And now, a mundane daily routine starts to get uncomfortable when all of a sudden,
Come on, baby.
the driver takes off.
What the Hey! Hey!
When the bus stops at the end of the street, Samantha gets in front of it to prevent the driver from leaving again.
Absolutely not! Did somebody call the police yet?
Samantha and the other parents feel helpless as they wait for police to arrive.
Right, what's going on? I have a situation.
Okay.
Where I have kids that don't have any documents on their...
Okay, my son is But they've been doing it for the same routine.
She said that some kids didn't have documentation to get off of the bus, but my daughter didn't need documentation to get off of the bus. She was 9 years old.
While the driver claims to be following protocol, the parents are frustrated because she won't release any kids, even children whose parents are there in person to meet them.
Okay, what's going on?
The cops are on their way.
Okay.
The driver eventually opens the door, and a few of the worried parents rush on to retrieve their kids.
Chloe, get off the bus.
But things quickly turn ugly when the driver allegedly pushes one of the parents, and the parent slaps her.
Are you nuts?
Clearly stunned, the driver suddenly slams the door shut and puts her foot on the gas.
She definitely put the kids' safety at risk. There were so many things in that moment that was going through my head. I was very pissed off. You don't keep a child away from their parents.
An older sibling of a child inside the bus chases after it and jumps through an open window.
Open the door! Open the door!
I went into Mama Bear mode and stopped the bus again by standing in front of it again a second time. And that time I wasn't gonna move until the police got there.
Ma'am, please let our kids off the bus!
At this point, she wasn't opening the door again. So in order to get their kids off the bus, they were pulling the children off of the bus from the side windows.
Samantha's oldest child, Chloe, is among the lucky students who are able to get off the bus.
How did you get off? Where's Kennedy? We got out the window. Up over there.
It was a completely different type of relief I never knew that I needed when my children got off of the bus.
Thankfully, Police arrive moments later.
Nuts. I have it on video from the beginning, sir. She didn't want to let the kids off the bus.
After speaking privately with the driver, police finally release the remaining children to their much relieved parents. Police charged both the driver and the parent who slapped her with simple assault. After an investigation, the school fires the driver for numerous violations that jeopardized student safety. While the incident is traumatic for all those involved, Samantha says there's a silver lining to the story.
This situation has definitely brought our neighborhood together. We protect each other's kids, and we all had each other's backs that day.
And despite the ordeal of the day, Samantha won't let it change her family.
You would think that I wouldn't allow my children to ride the bus again after this crazy incident. But yes, they are back on the bus with their original driver. I just think this was like a freak accident. I don't think this would ever happen again.
It's a quiet afternoon in a subdivision of Las Vegas. This homeowner and her neighbors have just noticed a dog walking off leash in the street.
I got him.
She calls the wandering pit bull over, and he seems friendly enough.
It's not mine.
Her smaller dog, named Max, comes out to say hello with a customary dog butt sniff. Without warning, the pit bull snaps and tries to bite down on Max. The homeowner desperately tries to keep Max out of the pit bull's jaws, even putting herself at risk of being bitten. Max is less than half the attacking dog's size. A single bite could prove to be fatal. Suddenly, a hero appears.
Get back! Get in the house. Go in the house. No!
A package delivery driver puts herself between the attacker and its victims, giving them an opening to run safely inside.
No! No!
Thanks to this delivery driver, Max and his owner escape with only minor cuts and scratches, proving that not all friendly neighborhood heroes wear capes. Some wear delivery vests.
You're a bad dog!
We're in snowy Portage, Michigan. Two men are filming their neighbors stumbling across the street and getting into a confrontation with, of all things, his garbage can.
Yeah.
It's not known what the garbage can did to prompt this outburst, but despite the man's hammer blows, it's not going anywhere.
Oh. Come on, fall over. Come on.
A fistfight is difficult on regular flat terrain. One can only imagine how much harder it is to fight in 6 inches of Michigan snow. With beer can now in hand, the neighbor decides to let bygones be bygones between himself and the trash can, and decides to throw in the towel. It's 3 a.m., and this man thinks he's arriving at a late-night neighborhood house party. When the party's host doesn't answer the door, the late-night reveler calls his buddy to see if he's at the proper address.
I'm right outside the frame. Tell him what's good.
Convinced he's at the right home, the man tries the doorbell one more time. Finally, someone's coming, but it's not the answer he's expecting. However, it appears his buddy never told him to ring this home's doorbell only once. That's certainly not the neighborly welcome he was anticipating. It sure doesn't look like he made it onto the guest list. The homeowner finally lets the man get to his feet. Though, in fairness to the unwelcome guest, all he did was ring the guy's doorbell, perhaps a few too many times. The host has one last surprise for the party crasher.
Hey, come back again. You up again.
A bloody nose. The dazed man retreats to his car, now fully knowing that nothing good happens after 2 a.m. We're in Chicago, Illinois, following a big dump of snow. A home security camera records a dog on the sidewalk. It runs into a front yard, then moments later, its owner appears. She spots something of interest at the front door. It's her neighbor's snow shovel. And without asking, she decides to take it. Moments later, another camera shows the woman using the shovel to clear snow around her car. When she's done, she goes back home, taking her neighbor's shovel with her. Meanwhile, the neighbor's been watching the whole thing. He decides to teach her a lesson in neighborhood manners. First, he fires up his snowblower and proceeds to completely rebury the woman's car. Then he takes back his shovel. Later, the woman discovers the payback and has to dig out her car, armed with only a broom. The shovel owner says he would have gladly lent his neighbor the shovel, if only she'd taken the time to ask. But break the good neighbor code in Chicago, and revenge is a deep dish served very cold. In Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, there's no shortage of beautiful places to spend your spare time.
We moved into this neighborhood about 2 years ago. It's our summer lake house. It's right there on beautiful Lake Coeur d'Alene in Idaho. My neighbor Ralph lives across the street from me, and he is the most friendly, fun guy that you could ever be around. Model neighbor.
Even if he supports the rival team.
Eastern Eagles are the team that everybody roots for. We grew up in Montana, so when we moved over there, the first thing we did was hung our Montana Grizzlies flag out there just to let people know where we stand. We had just been out there the week before, and we were letting him know that we were going to be at the big rivalry game, and he was going to be watching it on TV. And the Montana Grizzlies were up the whole game. We thought we were going to win this game.
But at the last minute, the Eagles make a comeback and come away with the win.
They end up winning by a field goal.
His beloved Eagles victorious. Jeff's neighbor, Ralph, can't resist the opportunity for a little 21st century neighborhood trash talk.
It was a pretty disappointing thing, and we're walking back to our car with our heads down, and I hear a notification, and it says Lake House, and I'm like, okay. I guarantee that's Ralph messing with us now. He may or may not have had a few drinks in him. He just thought it was hilarious. As soon as I put that on social media, I did get a lot of people just laughing at it, saying, oh man, that's gotta be nice to have fun neighbors like that out at the lake. It's just a really nice, comforting feeling. And I think everybody should go out of their way to try to be a good neighbor.
No matter where your team loyalties lie, everyone should have a neighbor like Ralph. Firefighters are some of the strongest and most courageous of our community members. And when they're not fighting fires in the neighborhood, even the bravest of the brave have to eat. But when this local firehouse is loading up groceries, a neighbor comes up, not to commend their fearlessness, but to complain about how his taxes are spent.
I know you guys cannot do anything about the fire tax. I have to pay extra. Yes, sir. You drive all the way down here. Why don't you guys shop there at the local store? We do.
The firemen awkwardly load their groceries as the neighbor scolds them for taking their truck to an out-of-town supermarket.
I'm going to go in front of the Board of Supervisors and make a complaint.
The man looks over to another neighbor recording for some support.
I'm glad you're taking pictures.
Yeah, because I definitely don't support you.
But the man recording is backing the firefighters.
You ought to just leave them be because they're just trying to make a living and trying to get their food,
But
man.
I'm paying for them to be down here on the clock.
That's okay with me, and I pay taxes too.
The firemen pay for their own groceries and have to stretch their dollar to buy food for the whole firehouse.
Why do they drive all the way downtown? They can shop there at the local store right around the corner.
Why would you want to pay double?
The store around the corner from the station is a gourmet market with higher prices.
Why would you want to pay double?
Well, why do I want to pay for the fuel, the maintenance on this vehicle, and everything else? It's ridiculous for the taxpayers.
Sir, we have to go. Is there anything else we can do? You're wasting our time right
You may
now.
not do anything else.
Before the firemen leave, the neighbor makes sure to document everyone and everything.
You're on a
I will
public
take
street.
a picture of your vehicle right now.
Go right ahead.
Sir, you have a nice day. If there's nothing else we can do.
I got you. Got you.
Sir, there is a form at our headquarters station
Your license too.
where you can file a citizen's complaint.
I will file a citizen's complaint, and I hope you put this on the news too.
It doesn't make the news, but the clip does get posted online, where it goes viral, racking up more than 1 million views.
This is totally ridiculous.
I understand. If there's anything else we can do for you, please let us know.
No, thank you.
All righty. Hope you enjoy your day, sir.
As for the disgruntled neighbor, he reportedly has yet to file a complaint at the fire station, leading neighbors to believe he's found something else to complain about.
I got you too, you.
And I got you too.
Pasco County, Florida. A county deputy rushes to the scene of a bizarre accident. An SUV has crashed into the front of a home on a quiet residential street. It appears that the driver has mistakenly slammed his car into reverse and lost control of it, driving across the front lawn and into the home's front door. But when the deputy arrives at the driver's side door, a different story begins to emerge.
Got one subject in the vehicle.
Told you.
What's that?
I told you. This was over before.
Okay, all right. Is the car off?
Nope.
Huh? Is your vehicle off?
Nope.
No?
It's off.
It's off?
The man's conflicting answers, as well as being recognized by the deputy, prompts further questioning.
You got any guns on you? Any weapons on you? You live right there, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so look, this is what I want you to do. I want you to step out of the car and come out to the front, okay? Are you
Get out of the store.
Are you injured?
No.
None at all?
Now clear to the responding deputy that this isn't just an accident, but part of a long-standing feud between two families who live across the street from each other.
Tired of these people with
I know.
me.
I know.
Tired.
Okay. You know the issue, right? Yeah, but you know the issue?
Yeah.
So he did it intentionally, that's what it sounds like.
One of the home's residents was in the kitchen, just mere feet from where the car crashed into the house. But thankfully, she escaped unharmed.
You're not hurt at all, right?
I was just came out of the kitchen.
Is that your kitchen?
Yes, that's the kitchen. And that's the front door, right there.
Who is he to you?
We live across the street, and we have a case against him for battery against me and my son.
While the battery case is a year old, police try and find out what triggered the man to drive his car into the house.
Did anything happen before this?
Last night there did.
So what happened last night?
The older man that lives there came across the street, was yelling at my son not to call his ex-wife names. And we called the police, and they came out.
Officers suspect the man's frustration with the year-long battle had reached a boiling point, and the previous night's incident pushed him over the edge.
What happened, man?
I've had it. You guys don't do nothing.
Well, tell us what happened.
You guys don't do nothing.
Come on, hey. Come on.
We told you 15 times.
Hey, let's go.
People start
Hey, let them do their job.
at
Let's go over here.
bro. Nobody even cares
I don't.
how bad they with us. Pulled the tiger's tail.
I get
It's like a tiger in a cage. I'm tired. Tired.
What happened today?
Lost it.
After admitting to losing his cool, as well as showing signs of being under the influence, the deputy attempts to apprehend the man.
Come here for a second.
Don't come.
Okay, so when you start,
Don't come me.
do not resist me.
Don't come.
Do not resist me. Hey, you better stop. You better stop. Stop resisting. I gotta.
They're with me.
Get in the car.
The man is cuffed and placed in a patrol car before a deputy speaks with a member of the man's family to get more insight into the unreal and ongoing feud.
What's that?
They've been harassing us for 13 months.
I know.
And I knew it was going to happen.
Okay.
You guys just kept saying, well, they can do what they want. They can do what they want.
It remains unclear what initially sparked the battle, but another neighbor tells a different story than the man and his family members.
I just don't understand, like, he's come over with an axe. He's come over and told him he's gonna shoot him. He's come over and do all this stuff, and now he does this. Like, how does she have to die for them to do something?
It's pretty ridiculous.
While deputies are unable to get to the bottom of the long-standing neighborhood war, they are able to put a stop to it. They arrest the man on multiple charges, including resisting arrest, driving with a suspended or revoked license, and felony criminal mischief. Hopefully, this Florida neighborhood can now return to normal and enjoy peace on their street. Malvern, Arkansas is a small, friendly town. And when 37-year-old Serena Saylor moves into the area to be closer to family, she decides it will be a good place to put down roots, so she buys a 2-bedroom home.
I'm living in this really peaceful neighborhood. My house is incredibly special to me, especially having grown up very low income, to be able to get to the point where I was able to buy a home on my own.
That's my cat.
After 5 happy years, a neighbor moves in.
All I'm really noticing is that he's home all the time. If I was to describe him, I'd say he's just like a really rough-looking average Joe. He had like a buzz cut. The only thing dividing property was a fence line that belonged to the neighbor. I mean, I would see him in his backyard and he would see me in mine, but I'm a fairly private person. Up until everything started getting weird, I don't even know if I said more than 2 words to this guy.
However, one day Serena sees something strange in her backyard, and from that day on, she starts making videos and sharing them online for support.
So I'm a little concerned right now. In fact, I'm shaking. I looked out my window and I see this and I'm like, I couldn't believe it. Put up this fence, he cut the wire and put this other one in that has access to my yard. Why? I'm legitimately scared. Why did he do this?
Serena is not exactly sure where her property line is, as she doesn't have her own fence. However, she decides not to confront the new neighbor, as she's worried how he may react. But soon things get even more creepy.
I haven't been outside since I recorded that video hours ago. I did hear the neighbor outside earlier. I did not look outside. And gate's wide open. A roll of toilet paper. What? I'm documenting this gate being open. I'm closing it, and I'm going to see if I have a lock.
With the gate being open, with that toilet paper roll there, I knew he must have come onto my property.
This was definitely very purposely opened, because that did not just magically fall open. I do happen to have a lock, so here we go.
I'm trying not to overreact, but at the same time, I am concerned.
With the gate locked, Serena feels more secure. But later that night, she becomes aware of something outside on her back porch, and the only way onto her porch is through her backyard.
I don't keep my porch lights on. There's no other lights on in the house. I'm in my room, and all of a sudden, I hear my wind chimes. It was not a windy night, breezy, nothing. They're very deliberately being rung, which scares me. My heart starts pounding, because I just don't know what is going on or what to expect.
Serena goes to the door terrified of what may be outside.
All those thoughts go through my head of I could be opening this to someone with a knife, a gun. I don't know what I'm opening this up to.
So she grabs her gun for safety and goes to the door, gripped with fear.
What are you doing on my porch? Get off my porch.
Really?
Get off my porch. You opened the gate onto my property.
It's my gate. You put a lock on it.
My property goes to your fence line. I'm not gonna shoot you. Get off my property right now. Get off my property. Get off my property right now. You look like you already did. Stay off my property.
I did feel good about the fact that I could get him off my property and that he left, but it was very short-lived because I knew this fight wasn't over.
In the next few weeks, Serena's neighbor continues to trespass on her property.
Will you please get off my property? You're not supposed to be over here. Don't ever come on my property again!
Serena installs an 8-foot-high fence so her neighbor can't invade or even see into her backyard.
I has a fence.
But there's a gap in the fence between their properties that her neighbor is exploiting.
My crazy neighbor was coming through that gap, and that's how he was accessing my backyard so easily still. Why are you on my property? Please get off my property. You've already had an official warning from the police. So I put up a barrier to protect that. He kicked over that barrier.
Serena is terrified as her neighbor is carrying a stick.
That's when I called the police and he got an actual trespass charge. And the next night, he kicked in my front door in the middle of the night.
This time, the neighbor goes round the front of the house and kicks Serena's front door until it's damaged. Serena is sleeping, so she doesn't record the vandalism and only wakes up to see him running away. However, her mother, who is staying with Serena to make her daughter feel safer, films the aftermath.
There's no way to even lock it now?
No.
Oh, great.
That was probably the scariest thing. 2:40 in the morning, and all of a sudden you just hear this shattering sound.
After this incident, the neighbor is arrested and charged with criminal mischief and assault. He's currently awaiting trial. Serena takes out a restraining order against her neighbor, so she's more confident he will not trespass again.
My neighbor apparently thought that I would make an easy victim, an easy target, but he definitely chose incorrectly.
And to make doubly sure, she fixes the gaps in the fence.
I am a badass woman. I'm not gonna lose what I have worked for so many years to someone like him.
45 miles northwest of Chicago is the city of Crystal Lake, Illinois, home to Aaron and Samantha Helmer and their 3 children.
Our neighborhood is nice, quiet, suburban American neighborhood. We've lived here for 4 years. We get along with all of our neighbors out here.
At 3 a.m. one morning, Aaron is awoken by an intruder alert from his home security system. A stranger has walked onto his driveway and tried the door of his unlocked car.
I look at my phone and see that my car door is wide open and the light is on. Didn't really think about if the guy had a weapon at all. I just knew that I didn't want somebody in my car.
Oh my God.
I slammed the car door shut on him just to kind of stun him because I didn't know what kind of size person he was when I first ran up to him.
Oh my God.
I'm 260 pounds. I'm a big guy. He was about 120 pounds soaking wet.
Drop whatever you have in there, okay? Yeah. All right. You okay? Yeah, I'm so sorry.
I think this kid was scared that I came outside of my underwear.
What do you have in there? In the wallet? Where's it at?
Then I had to call my wife and wake her up out of bed at 3 o'clock in the morning. I was scared doing that.
I was trying to make money or something. I'm hiring. Everybody's hiring. Yeah. So much. I don't want to explain it.
Aaron called my phone and asked me to see if his wallet was on the counter in the house. I like to sleep, so I was not very happy that I got woken up to some kid breaking in our car.
Is my wallet in there?
So when I walked out, I just said it like right away, like, call the police. Like, why are we standing here?
What the you doing?
I'm really sorry.
But then, like, I saw it was a kid, and I could see that, like, Aaron was kind of unsure of how to handle the situation. I just went into mom mode.
What else you got? What else did you steal from other people?
Just some money.
How old are you?
17.
What the f?
I know, I'm sorry.
You trying to go to jail over stealing $5?
He was a young kid. If you call the cops on him right away, that could scar a young kid on his record. I used to get into trouble when I was younger, and I didn't want that.
How many other houses did he hit so I can get this back?
Honestly, I just wanted to get through to him like how stupid what he was doing really was.
You know, your whole life over some stupid shit.
Not doing any damage to charges.
If he would have caught the wrong house, he could have got shot over like a couple of dollars.
Think of this as your lucky break, man.
Yeah.
We talked for about 10 minutes or so. He never tried to run at all.
Where do you live?
I don't know that he was a neighbor, but I never ran into him before.
Still live at home with your parents?
Yeah.
Where do they think you are?
Empty the rest of your pockets.
Alright.
So he had about 10 pairs of sunglasses, around 5 pairs of prescription glasses, about $5, $10,
Like 20.
$20. He had a pocket knife on him, and he had a bag of Skittles.
Learn your lesson.
I am, trust me, I'm so sorry.
Don't apologize to me.
Yeah.
Think about it.
We let him go before we called the police to come get the things. It's not ours. We wanted to get back to the people that it belongs to.
Hey, you know what?
You ever been in trouble with the police before?
No.
It's not fun, I can tell you right now.
He was apologizing that he would never do it again, and I think he got away with it once or twice and then realized the severity of it. If he does get caught, what kind of consequences come next.
I don't know. I think we made a good team of good cop, bad cop.
I'm going to fuck to bed.
I think our neighbors, him and his parents, would appreciate how the situation was handled. I mean, we still really don't know the full reason of why he was doing what he was doing. So as long as he took something away from it, that's good enough for me.
Like stupid.
Little Egg, New Jersey is a small, laid-back township on the Atlantic Ocean where Eliza and Brad Rhodes relocate from the city with Brad's parents.
Brad and I and Brad's parents all moved down together. It was a new start, living on the water. It's a small shore town, so people have lived here generation after generation. We thought this was the perfect neighborhood until we met our next door neighbors. Our neighbors are an older couple who have lived here for over 40 years.
According to Eliza, the first warning sign is when the neighbors make an unusual complaint.
They didn't like the smell of our dryer sheets because our vent faces the side of their house. So we went out and bought dryer balls because we're trying to accommodate because we're the new family in town.
And then whatever it was, they would pick out the next thing.
In the following months, the neighbors become more antisocial. So Eliza and Brad start to record them, and it only adds to the weirdness when the neighbor starts cackling at them.
She sounds like a witch.
Even though the neighbor is taking pictures of Brad and Eliza, she is annoyed that they are recording her. So one day, when Brad is in the front yard, her husband launches a verbal attack.
Head in the ground, you piece of.
You will? Is that all stand?
Stalker! Stalker!
What's the matter?
Stalker! That's you
You're crazy.
Yeah, you're crazy. Then what are you doing with the phone? Get the phone out of here.
So now you hit.
Yeah, it hits you, you piece.
When it became physical, it took it to a whole other level. Once that line was crossed, we were afraid. We didn't know where the next step was gonna go.
What happens next is worse than Eliza and Brad could ever imagine. Eliza Rhodes is shocked that her neighbors have gone online, discovered she has a criminal record from years ago for buying and possessing drugs, and are using this information to harass her.
I was a heroin addict, and I did whatever I had to do to get the next one. And then got sober, met Brad, got sober.
Felons.
Eliza has now been drug and alcohol free for 8 years.
You're felons. You're felons.
And works to help others in recovery, so she finds her neighbors' taunts tough to take.
I feel very judged actually tearing up. It was actually really hard to hear every single day all of these horrific things I had done while in my addiction.
And the insults only get worse.
You make me sick to look at you. When I see you, I want to throw the up.
This is what the neighborhood has to put up with.
It would be daily. They would yell constantly.
Are you drunk? Are you high?
Shut up.
Yeah. Pig. Look at that pushed-in face. Incestuous.
Eliza and Brad report their neighbors to the police.
Just give me your driver's license number. I will issue you something.
But the neighbors also call the cops with wild claims of their own that are untrue.
We got investigated for running a meth house,
Elder abuse.
holding someone hostage in the house. And literally, the cops were on this street every single day.
But just as Eliza and Brad are in the process of taking the neighbors to court, suddenly everything changes. After 3.5 difficult years,
You're a stupid.
they get the welcome news that their neighbors
You deserve to be in
You almost hit me.
are relocating to a different state. They don't know why, but they're just happy that they're gone.
Since our neighbors have moved, Brad and I will go out back and sit in the hammock at night and look at the stars, and we couldn't do that before. Couldn't enjoy the yard. Couldn't enjoy the water. Today we can.
If you're stupid, you belong in a nursing home. Because you got dementia.
If I could say anything to my neighbors, I would say, 1, you reap what you sow. 2, karma. The third thing I would say is, we didn't give up as a family, and we won.
Land O'Lakes, Florida resident Jennifer Michelle is out of the house visiting her mother nearby when she receives a doorbell cam notification on her phone. When she checks the camera's app, to her dismay, she sees 2 sheriff deputies and a handyman drilling the locks to her front door.
Hello? Hello? What are you doing?
We're here to finalize the eviction.
What eviction?
It was posted a week ago. It was posted last week.
On my house?
Yes, ma'am.
This is clearly news to Jennifer.
I pulled up on my bills. My dogs are inside there.
What is your name?
My name is Jennifer, and that is my house.
Jennifer, what's your last name, Jennifer?
My last name?
The 2 sheriff's deputies check Jennifer's house number to confirm they're evicting the right tenant. When?
Oh, damn it.
I am caught up on my bills. Nobody has served me an eviction notice.
Yeah, I think.
What the hell is going on?
One of the deputies begins the walk of shame back to Jennifer's door to inform her they've got the right neighborhood, but the wrong house.
Hey, we do apologize. We have the wrong house. It's the next door neighbors. What we're gonna have to do is they're gonna have to repair their locks. I don't know how.
My dogs are inside.
No, we're not going in. We're not going in. Hey, real quick, what's your phone number? Let me call you.
Worried she might find her dogs loose and all her belongings in the street, Jennifer rushes back home to her neighborhood.
You know what? I'm at my mom's house. I will be there in 15 minutes.
15? Okay, we'll be here.
Yes, sir.
The deputies not only apologize profusely to Jennifer for the mix-up, but they quickly change her locks and pick up lunch for her and her mom. Maybe Jennifer could pay it forward and take her future next-door neighbor out to lunch.
We do apologize. We have the wrong house.